All right, moving on to some more mapping the valley with Pioneer Bay. And we're going to get on to the next couple holes. Again, this might be one that's pretty obvious that most of you probably already knew about, but it's still kind of fun to see it in game. That's why I enjoy doing these little videos, just to depict how these holes kind of intertwine. So we're starting with hole number 5 of Pioneer Bay. And then we're going to go and kind of compare it to hole number 4. And in order to do so, we're going to basically throw a shot from the tee box here. We're going to take the Glide Sapphire. Sorry about that noise. And we're going to throw it on a backhand up the hill here. And let me see if you recognize kind of where we end up here at the top of this hill. Obviously going to be out of bounds on this hole, but does that look familiar for a different hole? Let's hop over to Pioneer Bay, hole number 4, and there we go. So that's pretty much right where we were. We were a little farther back, a little to the right, but for the most part, this is where we were. So you can kind of see how these holes share a map, and the basket is actually in very similar placement. I was actually curious if it had the same placement or if it's a little different. I kind of thought it was a little different, but didn't realize how close it was. So let's get down there. Let's just throw a forehand. And I was also curious to see if they had all the same stuff. You can see the plane up in the tree. You can see all the kind of wreckage, that's fallen out of the plane onto the ground. But yeah, basically the same. I wanted to take a closer look though and see if all those were kind of lined up the same, and then take a closer look at where the basket is on both of the holes. So here we go. We're on hole 4 right now. We're going to hop over to hole 5 with kind of that same view. And you can see everything's kind of lined up the same. The basket's quite a bit farther because it's in a different place on this hole. The basket on hole 4 is just closer to all the luggage and stuff on the ground. So we're going to I was curious if all this stuff is in the same place. So basically we're just going to compare screenshots here. So if this looks familiar, I know as a kid I used to always enjoy find the differences in the pictures. So there wasn't a whole lot of differences other than obviously, where the basket is, you can tell kind of the difference in the two holes. There's that mound that the basket's on, and then that little jar thing is kind of flipped over in the second picture. But other than that, everything's pretty similar there, as you can see. And then looking at the maps, so you can see kind of the top third of Pioneer Bay 4 is basically the map of Pioneer Bay 5. You can see the same trees, kind of the same terrain there. You can see the basket on PB5 is a little farther to the left. But there's the two mini maps combined. But there you go. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these as much as me. Stay tuned for what's to come for Pioneer Bay.